It was Denzel's birthday last week, and his wife baked him a lovely birthday cake, but she didn't have any silver bowls to put on the top. So she got the ball bearings out the back of Denzel's bike and put the ball bearings on the cake. That was Sunday. This afternoon, he bent over, farted, and shot the cat. But he got a lot of trouble. He had a lot of trouble with an erection. But he come to me, Jethro, he said, I got an erection, I've had it since January. Right. I said, well, take your trousers off and let's have a look. I said, Christ. I said, you got more to piss with than I have to walk with. I said, why don't we hit the hen with a hammer? He said, well, I tried beating it against the wall, but the bloody wall fell over. I said, look, tonight we'll get in Penzance, and we'll get on the train, and we'll open the window of the train and stick your cock out the window, and perhaps all that cold air will help. Well, we opened the bloody window in Penzance, and we got up, nearly up to Camborne. I said, bring it back in. He said, helping though. He said, it's made no difference at all. I said, well, bring it in. He said, I can't. He said, what am I going to do with all these bloody mailbags? My wife, she thinks she's a bloody racing driver. She's obsessed with the Formula One. She watch it every Sunday. She's all about, she got on your bloody wick. Well, in the night, she's catching on me cock and changing gear. And when she won't reverse, she pressed the top. Well, I said to Denzel, I said, the bloody woman, she's in the... I can't stand anymore. Bloody racing driver said, if she'd do it tonight, turn her on her belly and give her a back scuttle from behind. Give her a good shafting. I said, I bloody will. Well, she started again Sunday night. I said, well, I'll do what Denzel said. I turn her over and give her a good stuffing from behind. She said, I'll have 4 gallons, please. My daughter, she said she's going out with that Willie Pascoe from down in Camborne. I said, you keep away from them Pascoes. You keep away, because they're only after one thing. She said, he's a very honourable man. Yeah. She said, we're going to the pictures. I said, well, don't be late home. Make sure you're home by 7:30. She got home 25 to 3. I said, what do you think you're doing? You're up to no good. She said, I don't care what you say. That Willie Pascoe is a lovely boy. He's a lovely, lovely, generous boy. He took us, we went to cinema. He bought me some Maltesers. And he said, we sat in the back in the double seat. It was lovely. And she said, he got his hand up my blouse. She said, no, I laughed. She said, I laughed. I couldn't stop laughing. Then she said, he got me tits out and I bloody laughed. I bloody laughed. I was howling. Then she said, he got his hand up my skirt and she said, I laughed. Then he got his hand in my knickers. She said, I couldn't stop laughing. I said, what the hell was you laughing? She said, the Maltesers in my pocket. But she's going to get married. And I said, now, have you had a look at this cock? She said, well, I've never seen one. I said, well, tonight have it out on the kitchen table and have a look at it, and I'll tell you tomorrow morning if what he got is right or not. Well, we'd having breakfast last Wednesday morning, and I said, have you had this cock out? Yes, she said, we had it. We cleared the kitchen table. And he got in there, she said, out the end, he got a great lump. About big as an orange. Then she set it back about 18 inches from there. She said, he got two great big round things. Well, I said, oh, for your sake, that's the cheeks of his ass. But I was away working the other day, and I rung up home, and my son answered, and I said, is your mother there? No, he said, she's out shagging out on the lawn. I said, what? They're shagging on the lawn. I said, take the gun from underneath the stairs and go out and shoot the man in the bollocks and shoot your mother in the tits. I heard bang, bang. He said, done that. I said, where are they now? He said, I pushed them both in the swimming pool. Swimming pool? I said, that is St. Just 619, isn't it? For Mrs. Ruskilly from Hale, we haven't done this for years, but we'll do it for you. Shit. Hale, that's lovely. And have you been to Hale? What a beautiful place. It's twinned with Beirut. Thanks for coming out. I hope one day I'll see you again. My great friend, a man called Frank Yonko, who lived in Cornwall for a while, once went to the West Pembroke of Cornwall, and he sat on the cliffs of Endine. And he looked at the beach below, and he saw that the rocks on the beach were red. This was caused by the washings of the Geaver and Levant tin mines. Frank, a Liverpool boy, had never seen red rocks. Then he looked up and he saw the Atlantic was throwing its white surf against the North Cornwall coast of that rugged county of ours. The red rocks on the beach and the white waters, he wrote this song. Did you visit Mevagizzy? Did you see the boats leave Par? Did you ever stand on Gribbenhead? Did you nearly touch a star? Did you cross the Bodmin moors, where the grouse and tern fly free? Did you see this land where red rocks and white waters greet the sea? Just to see the lights of Newquay, Falmouth's busy quay, I wandered across the Tamar. Now I'm home at last and free from the demon called ambition and the phantom called success, and a way of life that made a fool of me. I'm proud that I was born here. It's always home for me. I love this land where red rocks and white waters greet the sea. Did you see Luxillian Valley on a warm September day? See the golden sands of Sennin when the tide had rolled away? The old tin mines on Camborne Hill, Truro, shining spires, Tintagel and St. Morgan, seen the chalk hills and Pentire. I'm proud that I was born here. It's always home for me. I love this land where red rocks and white waters greet the sea. I love this land where red rocks and white waters greet the sea. Greet the sea. Good night, God bless, and thanks very much.